Hi, and welcome to week 5. This video explains the activities for week 5. Your literacy circle will discuss the Batchelder book this week, and we're going to meet on Monday, September 28th. So I will look forward to seeing you in class, online, of course, virtually, and I'll send you out the Zoom link for that. This week, you're going to be looking at the authenticity of a book written by a cultural outsider. This has been a little controversial, that some people think that if you are not part of the culture, you cannot write about that. But I think the people who have written about cultures who are not part of the culture have tried to fill that gap where we never knew anything about the culture, or very little, because people within the culture weren't writing about their own culture. We have a lot more authors now writing about their culture. Are we still caught up to where we should be? Absolutely not. We still need so many more of them. So if you're considering being a writer and you want to write about the culture in which you have live in and you experience and you're part of, then I'd say go for it. But anyways, we're going to take a look at the authenticity. Can an author from outside the culture write about a culture that they are not part of? So after viewing the video of A Day's Work by Eve Bunting, that's a children's literature book, but here's the video of it, you're going to respond to this question. Do you think a book written by a cultural outsider, such as Eve Bunting, can still be authentic, valid, even if it has, excuse me, some inaccuracies? So use examples from this book to support your opinion. You may also use information from the PowerPoint, which is right below it here, or articles from the group work, which is in the next folder, to support the examples you cite from the book. Post your response in a Word document in this Dropbox. The other activity that you'll be completing individually, independently, hopefully after you have worked on the group work, is to evaluate the authenticity of a children's book. And here is a document, and I think it's an article, about simple questions to evaluate authenticity of children's literature. So using your multicultural book, the book that you used in your virtual discussion group, or literature representing diverse populations, that you have already read or will be reading for your self-selected library, respond to the simple questions to evaluate authenticity. Those simple questions can be found in this document right here if you click on that. Determine if your book is authentic based on the questions you have responded to for this activity. Again, create a Word document and post your work in the Dropbox. Those are the individual activities this week. I'm going to take you to the group work. And again, I would have you prioritize the group work and do this first so it gets out of the way and everybody has the chance to participate and not have to worry about you not completing the work. So do this as the first activity. Each member of the group should select one of the articles below. And I think there are 5 articles and there's no more than 5 people in a group. There may be 4 in a group, and if there are, then you just will have 1 article you haven't read, or a person can take on 2 articles, the article that somebody hasn't selected, and you certainly will get extra credit if you want to do that. But anyways, you're going to read that article. You're going to post a brief synopsis of the article for the other members of the group to read. And then using a Web 2.0 tool that you may not have used yet, you're going to create a list of what it takes, or need not take, to write a culturally relevant children's book. Use information from your articles and the PowerPoint from the individual activities to create this list. When your group has exhausted all the information from the articles and the PowerPoint, as well as maybe your personal experience, then you'll know your list is done. I've included the Web 2.0 tools below to select from this folder. Post this tool in this Dropbox. So here are the articles, and here are the Web 2.0 tools. There's 3 of them here that you can take a look at to determine, to find one that will work for your group. And your group then again can message each other. And all you need to do is go to messages. And let me go out of here just so I can show you where messages is. In case you haven't seen it yet, it's up here in the corner. And what you do is click on that, and it has all the messages from our group so far. And then if I click on here, I can type in my members of my group. Okay, and for instance, I would just put all course members if I'm sending this out to you, but you can put in individual names and you can type your message. You can send an email to them, and you can also allow for replies to this message. So you will get your group members will get a message. They can get an email from you. You don't need to know their email addresses, and you can correspond that way. It's a very good way to correspond, something that Ultra has that Classic didn't have. So I would encourage you to do that as well. Don't forget, if you haven't submitted one posting from your Reader's Response block, please do. Eventually, I'll be sending you individual emails asking for that myself, because I want to double check to make sure that you're on target in regards to the information you have posted in the 4 parts, that is accurate, and you get as many points as you can, so you can pattern yourself and do the remaining 7 entries in a similar fashion and get all the credit for that assignment. Don't forget that you need to think about a librarian if you haven't yet to interview. I know that that will come up toward the end of the semester, and you're going to be panicking and you're going to be asking me. So I'm asking you now to check that out. I have several librarians who would be very willing to let you interview them. They're not all from California, but that's okay. They are either children's librarians, or they are librarians of a public library, or they are librarians of a public school or a charter school. So I have several who are very good at what they do as librarians. They're very resourceful, and I think you'll get a lot of information from them. So I would suggest you think about that. I hope you are reading your 19 picture books and 5 novels for your self-selected library. I will continue to encourage you to do that as well. Remember, there aren't a lot of major assignments at the beginning of the semester, but they are many of them at the end of the semester. That gives you a chance to read the books you need to read for this course, which I know are a lot, but they're children's books. A lot of them are picture books. Some of them are novels, but they are elementary oriented. So I would encourage you, except for the young adult one. You're right, the young adult one is an adult book that will take you a little bit longer as well. So, but I'd encourage you to be reading as well in your busy schedule. As always, if you have questions, don't fail to email me. I'll try to get back to you as quickly as I can. Otherwise, I'll see you on Monday. And before Monday, I will see you online.